Well, Coach Lyons, congratulations. First game of the season. Every team wants to win the first game of the season. What were your thoughts on the game?
I thought, honestly, I was very pleased with defensive effort. It's hard to get it right sometimes defensively, and it's a weird thing. A lot of guys come in with different philosophies they've coached under, and for 4 years, maybe guys did something different than I did, and it's kind of hard to break those habits. And it takes a couple weeks to really get your principles down, and then sharpen it takes another couple weeks. So I thought it's a great start for us, a great base, and it'll be easy to improve on it. Hopefully, hopefully if everything goes right. Relative
to the size of a basketball squad, you've got a fair number of new players, haven't you? And it's always going to take time for those players to sort of fit into the jigsaw puzzle. Three season friendlies. Tonight there were just some signs of kind of summer cobwebs. Would you agree with that, Atiba?
I think the new guys, Jeremy, he got caught up in just foul trouble, so it was hard for him to get a flow. I thought he did a tremendous job of when he was able to play, to make the appropriate plays and didn't force and really controlled the tempo, and gave Nick a break because he played a lot of minutes at the point guard. Daquan's so new, he's been here maybe a day. 2 hours of practice under his belt. I just threw him out there just so he can get a feel of the banging and the push and the physicality of it all, more than anything else. But I think guys like Zach and Colin are very important for us to have a good start because they're familiar with the league, before they're familiar with my system. In the past, we haven't been able to rely necessarily on that. They were kind of immature a little bit and didn't know what they wanted to do and how to do it. So they seem to be a little more mature and self-aware and confident.
Two features of Jeremy's game seems to be, number one, his pace in breaking forward is really fast, and secondly, he seems to have got an eye for that clever pass with a player under the basket.
Yeah, Jeremy's a heck of a player. He's creative with the ball. There's not too many people that can stay in front of him, and he's under control at the same time. So if you're open, he's going to find you. So I think guys appreciate that, and they work harder for him, and that's kind of the relationship they've started to build already. They know if Jeremy has the ball, if they do the right thing, they'll get the ball. So he knows that how to find guys, and they know how to play off them already. So it's promising, yeah.
Atiba, I know it's challenging when you come into a game with what you would describe as a truly official point guard, but what were your observations on the guys that filled that position tonight?
I think Jeremy did well when he came in the game. I think he got some silly fouls, kind of over-aggressive too early. Nick, he had spurts where he did some great things. He had a couple spurts where he kind of made some bonehead plays, and we talked about him, but he also played a lot of minutes at the point. He wasn't expected to do that, so you got to kind of expect that when someone's out of position for that long, they're going to make some mistakes. So I think they both did overall very well.
Special comments for two players. First of all, Mike Tuck won the man of the match. Your thoughts on his performance tonight?
I think Mike's playing with a lot of confidence. We were talking in practice, and he's really worked on his shot in the summer, and I could tell that he just feels a lot of confidence in his shot. I think he hasn't had that kind of confidence since his first year, second year. He really was really confident, shot the ball a lot better. In the last few years, he's kind of struggled. Not obviously, but I know that he can shoot the ball better. So I think he feels that confidence again.
I know at halftime I was speaking to one of the old guard, Jerry Montgomery, and he was particularly glowing about Babalola's performance. What are your thoughts on him tonight?
Olu's one of the pieces. I told him before the game. He's the piece of the engine that if you fall out, we're not going to do well. We're not going to move. So I'm putting that pressure, responsibility on him from the very first game, and he's got to now, sink or swim. So I think he may not have scored a lot of points. I don't know the final stats, but he did at one possession. I think he got his 4 or 5 extra possessions with offensive rebounds, and that's more than enough to set your stamp on a game. So we need more effort plays and more leadership from him.
A relatively short trip over to Manchester on Sunday. Games come quick in this sport, don't they? What are your thoughts about what you might expect from Manchester? Does that be a tougher game than tonight, do you think?
It'll be tougher in the sense that they'll be better schooled, but they've been coached with the same coach for years. They've played together for years. A similar team from last year, and that goes almost back to juniors. So they have that experience, which you can't really plan for it too much this early in the season. They have a huge advantage on most teams because of that, and they're one of the teams you don't want to play early in the season. You'd rather play a team that may be better later on or have promise than a team that's already established as a good team, a solid team, because you never know going forward.
Well, Coach, I noticed we had a business meeting the other day, and you came in with your juice smoothie or whatever it was. So it looks like you're slimming, you're looking quite trim. Does the coach get to have a beer tonight, or is that breaking the diet?
I think I'll take a glass of red for my heart. Keep it completely healthy.
Well, Atiba, we've got a great buzz about the place, not just on the court but off the court. Big meeting last night, which we'll slowly tease the supporters with over the next 3 or 4 months. But congratulations, enjoy tonight, and good luck for the game on Sunday.
Thanks, Dave.
Well, Mr. Tuck, man of the match, as I would call it in football terms. In football, we say man of the match. Here it's MVP, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah, most valuable player.
How do you feel about that performance tonight?
I thought it was great. I thought it was a good team performance. I thought, all the different guys on our team stepped up when they needed to, and overall it was a great game.
You've had 3 practice games or friendlies before tonight. What's the difference, Mike, between those friendlies and a professional game? Do the players put the same effort in, or do they just hold a little bit back in the friendlies?
I think guys are going out to compete in the friendlies, but I think from a team point of view, Atiba's trying different things out, seeing where guys can do what things, and we're testing the waters a little bit. Whereas tonight we knew this was, this is game time. This is when the bright lights are on, and we had to hit the ground running tonight. So that's why tonight's win was so sweet.
I asked Atiba his thoughts on playing a game without a truly recognised and natural point guard. Obviously, he was watching that from the court, making the decisions about what was coming on. From a captain's point of view, on the court, how did it feel not having someone that actually plays that position naturally?
I thought Jeremy and Nick really stepped up for us tonight. They're not really natural point guards, but I think they did a good job of running the show tonight and being playmakers and doing their job.
I remember interviewing you before the season on the press release, and we were talking about Patrick, and he was described as similar to you. He truly is in the way he plays, isn't he?
That's it. Yeah, he's a workhorse. He comes in to play hard. Every day in practice, and it translates over into the games. He plays hard underneath the basket. He can knock down that open shot. So very similar to me, and that's what it makes him that much harder to guard in practice.
When a professional basketball player has a game on Sunday, just a day after, really, what does a player do? Like, what would you normally do? I know you're probably going to have a bite to eat tonight, but what would you do tomorrow just to completely chill out? Talk us through what goes on before you prepare for a game.
Tomorrow we'll probably have a light practice, hour and a half, light practice, just a lot of shooting, going over our plays, going over the opposition, personnel, and then the type of offenses that they run. Just keep it real light, and then try and stay off your feet as much as possible. Maybe do a little bit of stretching, get a good meal in you, to prepare for the next day, and kind of get focused for the next game.
Mike Tuck, one game at a time, first one down, right result. Enjoy this evening. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you very much.